who's going to join Stefano in the playoffs. We're going to find out right now. Are you ready, Austin?
They're already welcoming two players from Group B, Chef and Thorzane, who just walked up to the front of the booth. We're going to be seeing them momentarily, but first we have to find out who is joining Stefano in Group A tomorrow in the championship brackets.
In the top left, the aggressive Zerg mastermind managing to win back-to-back majors. Can he do it 3 times in a row? It's Empire viOLet.
And down in the southeast position as the Red Terran, he certainly seems to have just picked up a few fans here at the Red Bull Battlegrounds, defeating Gonzi in his second series and looking for a win to eliminate viOLet. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Quantic Illusion.
Now already, viOLet is doing some interesting scouting patterns with those extra speedy overlords. He can easily be able to take to get into a really nice position down at the south side of the map. And at the same time, I think the sort of interesting idea is how will Illusion press against the Zerg's 3rd and 4th bases? It's kind of unclear what the correct place to attack is since all the expansions are on the sides.
Right, and I mean, moving out to the 3rd and setting up that nice little defense is certainly going to be something that, you know, if it actually gets to that point, is going to be certainly something that Illusion can do quite well. Of course, we see the Zergs like to go with that 3rd, but the rocks there can be a little bit of an issue depending on what sort of timings the Terran's actually trying to achieve. So we're going to have the early hatchery come down to be expected here by viOLet, but I want to just really quickly go back. I think it's a great observation about this Overlord. I cannot tell you how many times we've seen that initial Marine out of the racks and he doesn't, he stops the barracks just a little bit, but won't be able to get in there full kill. He wants it bad, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where if you kill off that drone, you actually feel like you're the best player in the entire world. And if you miss it, then you're actually just a normal everyday Terran.
Well, they're still fighting it out in the middle, but that he's going to try to go forward.
viOLet. Could be potentially the best Terran player in the world coming up. No, it looks like that drone's going to escape just fine. Unless... Illusion has done it. He has won the tournament. viOLet now throwing down the spawning pool, and again, no gas. Ooh, looks like we might see that 4-queen play.
Yep, as the pool's going to finish up here momentarily, right in coinciding with that second hatchery. And safely that Overlord makes his way over to the east. As I was mentioning earlier, sometimes send that initial Overlord out, especially with the old speed, and one Marine could completely wreck the first 5 or 6 minutes of your game. And so that's a lot of the reason why we see that bottom Overlord first and then the second one. But here we have the low ground CC coming out for Illusion, and that Overlord is going to be able to spot that in just a moment.
And here comes the swap for Illusion. Unless he's planning on just going for double Marine production. Oh, that would have been very, very weird, though. Wouldn't be the first time that we've seen Illusion make this kind of play. We'll go into the double Hellion production viOLet, getting that queen ready to do the creep spread, and 2 more queens popping out as well.
Yep, and of course that goes into and coincides with the 4-queen opening. It worked out quite well for him in the last game. In game 1, not so much. He did lose a lot of those Zerglings, a lot of those Banelings early on in game 1. And actually, in game 2 on Daybreak, going back to that third, the initial battle that we saw, where he did lose quite a few lings because Illusion was able to pull him so far off of that creep. I think that is another key thing that Illusion's going to need to do to try to handle this Zerg at such an early stage of the game.
Illusion now doing some poking and prodding. And definitely the creep spread, as you say, Marcus, is just going to be, I honestly think, the big deciding factor in the mid and late stage of this game. We saw it get almost nowhere in game 1, and Illusion was able to do so many counter swing arounds, and the slow Zerg units couldn't reach it. And now Illusion, again, very calmly going for the, ooh, this is a very different twist. This factory is adding on a tech lab. We don't see the starport coming up right now. I don't know if Illusion is intending on going Blue Flame Hellion, but He's trying to line the Hellions up to just do the last bit of damage against that creep tumor, but just can't quite seem to pull it off.
Inside the base of Illusion, also, this Overlord is going to get vision of everything.
Ouch.
He's not going to be able to get away, but he does catch a great glimpse of everything going on. Knows that, of course, there's several upgrades going. But interestingly enough, does he think that that is blue flames? We were right. We do see that coming. Hasn't seen a tank yet. Knows that there's just the Hellions out. And what do you think based off of the timing? What do you think viOLet's thinking there?
Well, it's weird because Illusion had a siege tank building and then canceled it along with the siege mode. So, I mean, he literally could be doing either one. And this is something that Illusion was talking quite a bit about before the tournament even began. All his timings tend to be around the same time. So if he can just withhold enough information, it literally could be one of 3 or 4 possible compositions being thrown at you.
Here we have the macro hatch about ready to finish up. Drone gonna come over here, take out that SCV so he can plant down his third. Oh, the eBay block. eBay block.
Wow.
Right, he's about ready to go down 166. But there's not really many Lings out here. And so these Hellions going to move forward to deny this even more. I love this. Actually, there's the cancellation. It will get down. And here we have just a swell of Zerglings making its way out to the map.
Oh, and this is going to work brilliantly in Illusion's favor. His stim is done. His combat shield is now coming. And he is starting to add on those Hellions. One at a time, blue flame nearing completion. Oh no, he reveals the blue flame. That is going to be a big shocker. And catching it off guard.
Ouch.
And if you are in viOLet's shoes, you are immediately feeling mighty uncomfortable, not just because you lost a hefty amount of units with no gain, but also because your counterattack force is your key to maintaining pressure, to having vision on the map. And now as Illusion does this push again right at 9:30, he's going to be able to slowly eat through all these creep tumors, and it's all going to come down to the number of banelings that pop out on the map.
I mean, so scary. He spread these units out quite good, but just a single perfect push here from Illusion could do so much damage. And there is the scan, reveals everything up and coming. And here we go, moving forward.
He's going to get surrounded again. And he barely manages to get out. I can't tell who is getting the better angle of engagement, but it looks like both players don't really get an edge either way.
No, I like that. The Queen's moving forward. They will move back. Needs some transfuse. Is not going to commit back to that battle, but I really do feel like it was a pretty even trade there. viOLet, I thought he was going to suffer way, way worse casualties there, but it seems like he was able to pull it off. And honestly, just getting that surround there and allowing those banelings to hit meant that he was going to certainly come out much better than he could have if it was just a kiting all-day situation.
So right now, it's a very even game. Neither player has really gotten a chance to do any sort of critical damage to the other one. Illusion is a little bit behind on adding on those extra barracks, the extra add-on. His +1 is done, but it's quite far behind what it normally is when he's doing his ultra-fast upgrade play. And meanwhile, viOLet is going for this Spire play. It's kind of like what you were saying beforehand, where the main is very big. So it's very easy for the Mutalisk to have a big open field to deal max damage.
Now, Baneling speed is on its way. That's going to be a big change from the last game where viOLet actually forgot Baneling speed, got it much later after morphing in a ton of Banelings. But his third base is up. We're seeing those rocks taken down. The third established. There is a Ling there. Doesn't have Burrow yet. Is not going to have Burrow before he is eliminated. And we are going to have the Spire finished up. +1 has begun. Pooling now about 700 gas, but do we have any mutas out yet? We have not seen our first muta be built.
Now viOLet's starting to swing down, going to try to do some sort of damage to this third base. And it looks like Illusion will have to lift it. But in the meantime, we see 2-2 nearing done, and again, I love this Burrow play, Marcus. This is just so effective at doing tons of damage in these sort of counter-harassment scenarios.
Yeah.
And now Illusion starting to pump out of a lot of barracks, but not a lot of add-ons, and we're starting to see the passive Illusion, which, as you'll note, almost always favors Empire viOLet.
Now, I'm really curious with the 9 the 9 Mutalisks that are coming out right now. You had mentioned just how big, the Mutas can attack inside the main base. If they decide to go for the main, it's actually so far away from where the base army of Illusion is, and it is very, very wide open, but it looks like the Mutas are actually going to head over to the third. And we'll see how he'll be able to do there. He's certainly going to avoid any sort of detection up to that point, but there are some Marines here to quickly react.
Now it looks like viOLet starting to spring around, and the Baneling Bomb totally whiffs. But the third base is the really big problem. It's going to redraw Illusion back over. But Illusion might just abandon this expansion. No, he has the wall off solid enough to be able to deal with it, and it looks like, wow, Illusion might have an answer, but he's got to start repairing this orbital, and now Illusion has made it all the way up to the fourth base.
Does he even know that he's there? Well, he does now.
Oh, and the Zerglings are starting to move up, but Illusion with these wall offs just deflecting all this aggression, but this is a ton of Zerglings. Illusion needs to recognize, oh, that's not going to be walled in for long. And now it looks like the repair attempt, and now viOLet now stepping in. It may very well be a base trade scenario, Marcus.
It might be, but he is going to attack. Baneling's rolling in. Oh no, hitting all the Marines, and suddenly Illusion may be hurt here, as he's only got tanks here to deal with this. Lings are running rampant inside the main and the third and the natural of his opponent. There are burrow Banelings everywhere as well, and Illusion is not looking to be in great shape.
A nice Baneling bomb by viOLet. Illusion is forced to retreat with his small army of tank medevac, but viOLet might not even let that stay alive. In the good game, Empire viOLet advances to the next round by the skin of his teeth. And Illusion played an incredible series of games today. Narrowly unable to get out of that, the round robin groups. But that does mean that we will see Stefano and viOLet advancing to the playoffs for Sunday play.
Zerg's day out of Group A, and unfortunately, Ganji and Illusion will be sent home. Illusion certainly putting on a fantastic showing for us. In fact, I mean, a round of applause for all the guys in Group A. I know Illusion was certainly one of the favorites here of the audience. It was very evident just from the cheers as the player introductions took place. But overall, what are your thoughts? Are you a little surprised that Illusion took viOLet to the limit?
I mean, it really goes to show that if you can just dedicate enough time and are smart enough at the game, that it doesn't matter if you have the Korean Pro House, it doesn't matter if you have years of experience under your belt. Illusion, the youngest player at the tournament, almost being able to make it to the playoffs. So huge round of applause to both of these players. Illusion eliminated in the 9th to 12th place position.
Still earning himself some money, though. A lot of money being given away this weekend at Red Bull Battlegrounds. Even that bottom four will get themselves $500, and so certainly some good play. Still, and Group B's coming up next.
So what we're going to be doing is going to a brief break, and when we come back, we're going to hop right into the action with Sase versus Teja.